All right. So as everybody's slowly trickling in, we're going to kind of head on over to the slides that we have prepared. And I will pass over control to our dearest director, Angela Ortiz. Angela, if you could say hello.
Hey, Kevin, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I am so excited and incredibly nervous, actually, tonight, but really excited to connect with you all. Thank you so much for making time to stay informed about the work of PTG. We appreciate you more than you know. And I understand also that it's a very unsettling time for many of us due to COVID-19 and the ramifications of that. I'm very grateful that through it all, our team and the families that we serve are staying strong and working together. As many of you know, Place to Grow is a community building nonprofit founded in the aftermath of 3/11. The earthquake and the tsunami and nuclear meltdown that happened 9 years ago. And our vision has been to inspire the next generation of Tohoku. How we do that is through our mission, community building through focused support of children's development in fitness and language exchange. So we hold monthly workshops for children in these remote areas. And while we are about rebuilding community, the strongest role model in a child's life is their parent. So we focus on the children because they are the heart of the community, and adults will rally together in support of these, their most precious members. However, we are aware that many parents, especially in these areas, have scars and personal troubles, and they do not always find avenues to release and to heal. And this is why a few times a year, usually in April and December, we have slightly larger events that include parents. Kevin, can I just check that you're flowing the slides along with what I'm saying?
Yeah, please let me know if you want to switch to the next slide.
Okay, so let's move on to the next slide, the vision slide. Yes, and moving on to the mission slide. So everyone can see our mission in details. And the next slide. So the way we achieve our vision, which is our endless goal that we will be chasing forever, is through these specific tactics. And as I explained, the reason why we focus on children is because they are the heart of the community, and the adults get together and work together to support these, their most precious members. Next slide, please. Some of you might wonder what exactly this means. It's a lot of words that I'm saying. So I'd like to just tell you a quick story. In the next slide, you'll see a photo of last summer camp, and I put a heart around two little girls. This is Elsa and her sister Karen. These sisters attend the Oya Asobiba in North Miyagi near Kesenuma. Elsa is now in her, she would have, excuse me, she would have just started middle school, her second year in middle school. And Karen is a third grader in elementary school. And I've known them for about 5 years. They're actually half Filipino. Their father is a fisherman, and their mother, who's Filipino, works in the processing factory. About 2 years ago, the local community leader who runs the play area that we work in, she told me how the mother was suffering from depression and how the girls were neglected because of this. Their mother could no longer work, and she became a hikikomori, or a recluse, and was mostly at home. And I honestly wasn't surprised to hear this, because I could sense the desperation in these two young girls. They clung to me and to the other female volunteers when we visited. I knew Elsa was taking the parental role here by the way she cared for her sister and the way she talked about their everyday life and, school. And I could see this burden in her eyes. There was sadness, but there was also some anger and resentment. And I could tell that she was under a lot of pressure. Last April, though, at one of our larger events, their mother finally showed up. It was the first time for me to meet her after about 5 years. But she was also quite shy. She's small. She was hunched over. She was dressed in really baggy clothes and was incredibly shy. But because it was such a lively and energizing event, it was an Easter themed event, and we had Stewardo up there dancing. We had volunteers from various countries, and we exchanged traditions about Easter. We had a barbecue. You know, the mother started to open up. She spoke a couple words of English, and it was quite a positive experience, which I didn't really think much of. Until 2 months later, I met their mother again. She came back to another event, and this time it was a fitness event, and she joined in. And then last Christmas, Elsa came up to me at the Santa Soul train, and she handed me this card. And when she handed this to me, I've had a very profound experience when I just read, it was a quick note. She says, "Hi, Angela." I'm reading the card actually right now. I have it on my lap. "Thank you so much. I hope you are fine. Have a very Merry Christmas. Please look after yourself." And then at the end, she wrote, "Thank you so much, exclamation, exclamation, for Elsa and Karen Iroiro. Thank you again and again." And when I took the card from Elsa, I could see in her eyes and in her smile that things were different now. I knew that this card was from a mother who was now emotionally reconnected with her daughters. And for me, like, there's very few words and really no statistics that I can express to convey the look in Elsa and her sister's eyes when we arrive for the workshops, the way they wave goodbye, or the way they, sit next to us as we work out, or even, what it looks like to see them on stage at the Santa Soul train dancing and singing with hundreds of their friends, and seeing them really partake of this feeling of community and feeling connected in there. But this is what PTG has evolved to do, to bring scattered communities together and help them to rebuild their sense of community and family. And if you've ever seen one of the Santa Soul Train videos, you know what I mean. So what we've come to understand very deeply is the particular role that outside volunteers play. We also know that train the trainer is the most effective way to enable long-term community growth and social change. And also that encouraging capacity development of local leaders is paramount to our success. And we also know that a fundamental human need is that of connection. Lastly, we know that when you have a win-win exchange of value, you have a partnership. And ladies and gentlemen, we are all here tonight because these ideas matter to us, because we know that all of us have the power to change a life for the better if we choose to do so. And you are here because you choose to do so. So let's get on with the report. Let's skip to the next slide, Kevin. And just quickly, before I hand over to Kaylee Ward, I'd like to say a quick shout out to some of our longest running and biggest sponsors. So hi, Shelly Sachs over at Ohana International School. Thank you so much. And Kobayashi-san from Taiho Pharmaceuticals. Jackie at Hogan Levels, thank you again and again. And Casey at Nishimachi International School, we would not be here without your support. And lastly, Asako Okubo-san at Vina Energy. You guys, you make this all happen. So thank you so much, and let's hear from Kaylee.
Hello everyone, this year for the Impact Report, I'll be explaining how PTG's efforts are helping support Minami Sanriku and the Tohoku region. As you may know, Place to Grow is one of the longest running reconstruction support organizations in Miyagi Prefecture today. Our support activities began with disaster relief and material support immediately after 3/11 and continue to the present. Place to Grow's volunteers and staff have come together across Japan and around the world to support the revitalization of the Tohoku region. Place to Grow as an organization has continued to support victims from the 3/11 disaster through a variety of community revitalization projects, children's workshops, and volunteer activities. Until now, Place to Grow has supported the Tohoku region through more than 50 different projects. Place to Grow originally was a smaller program within our organization, OGA for Aid. However, over the years, as we shifted from disaster relief to community revitalization, we wanted to focus more on activities and development opportunities for children, families, and residents. Around 2016, we began to transform OGA for Aid into Place to Grow. From 2011 until today, Place to Grow has had a great effect on Minami Sanriku. In 2011, in the aftermath of the disaster, we set up a Tohoku distribution system program to provide adequate food, water, and emergency supplies to survivors. Working with locals at this point was a key component of the project. We began economic enhancement in Minami Sanriku through farming via our Green Farmers Association initiative, providing livelihoods to 5 farmers and providing nutritious produce for 1,400 families living in temporary housing at the time. In 2012, English and computer education for 300 children and 120 elderly residents of Minami Sanriku was held at our newly renovated Community Learning Center. In 2013, our work with GFA expanded to provide livelihoods for 10 local farmers. The work done led to the farming group winning an award for its contribution to revitalizing the region's farming. In 2014, a new program called Temahima supported students and corporate employees to come to Minami Sanriku to volunteer. Overall, 18 trips were made from Tokyo, Fukuoka, and Sendai to Minami Sanriku. In 2015, we started our first global campaign for building connections between volunteers and survivors. In the same year, we started the Place to Grow and Furusato Box initiatives, providing further opportunities for local revitalization. From 2016 onwards, Place to Grow has continually expanded our programs, activities, and events to better support the needs of Minami Sanriku and other towns in Tohoku. Our partnerships with schools, other local organizations, and companies allow us to bring new opportunities to children and families living here. PTG's activities are important as they provide a place for children to create new relationships, learn new skills, and learn more about their community. In a place where depopulation is very high, we want to support the children the best we can and enrich their lives. As a result, Place to Grow's Community Recovery Project is a comprehensive effort. As such, we believe that to create positive development, that revitalization is needed in the areas of education, economics, and community. To that end, we hope to inspire the next generation of Minami Sanriku and Tohoku by launching activities for children and building new connections. As Minami Sanriku has continued to recover, we have worked with local residents and other organizations to complete new projects. These projects include various workshops and cultural exchange programs. Firstly, we have been creating new programs and educational opportunities for children by discussing and collaborating with local people. Secondly, through international exchanges between the people and staff of Place to Grow, volunteer groups, and local residents, we provide students and families in Minami Sanriku with the opportunity to expand their personal and educational development. Thirdly, here at Place to Grow, we believe that children's support is directly linked to the future of Minami Sanriku and Tohoku. However, the number of children in Minami Sanriku has been declining for a long time, as well as across Tohoku, and it is expected that it will be difficult for places like Minami Sanriku to survive as it is. So in order to overcome this situation, we have collaborated with groups and townspeople who have been key to both community and educational development. As one, we organize workshops for children, we started a children's exercise program this past year, and continue to conduct cultural exchange programs. So as a group, we are considering how to improve the community environment to meet the needs of children. To that end, since the beginning of last year, we've been teaming up with Sogo Fitness, and with support from our local partner Minami Sanriku Junior Academy, we have been able to hold monthly workshops that improve the kids' physical strength and their English capability, while also helping to inspire more self-confidence. From all of us at Place to Grow, thank you for your continued support over the years. We hope to enrich and inspire the next generation of Minami Sanriku and Tohoku alongside all of you.
All right, let's give the floor to Chen. Chen.
Yes, hello everyone. Can you hear me? So my name is Chen Chen. Nice to meet you, all the older friends and new friends. Probably some of our friends here know Place to Grow, also Angela, even longer than me. I would say before we go to more details of what Place to Grow had did in 2019, I would like to give you a little bit overview of our programs. Place to Grow have designed different programs for Tohoku community, of course of all the kids, and also for our sponsors and volunteers. Actually, one of our most youngest program is the Fitness Cross English Workshop, which we featured with Sogo Fitness and started last year. You will know more details later and presented by Mashi. And as you all know, we have one longest running program, which is the Santa Soul Train, and it started from 2011. You will know how the 2019 Santa Soul Train looks like later too. And probably some of you don't have an idea what we actually do kind of tailor-made program for our sponsors as well. We actually designed a tailored program for for one of our sponsors, and it's called the Temahima. We bring our sponsors, employees, even employees' kids to Tohoku, have 2-day amazing days there with the local volunteers, spend some time on the beach, also have some barbecues. Meanwhile, the most important thing happened there is to understand the Tohoku and the post-disaster, the whole environment and how the rebuilding happened there. The last but not the least program we had did is actually we designed some programs to inspire our volunteers as well. So since last year, we featured one of our amazing ladies, Sarah Jean, to have the develop yourself to inspire others. And this program, we had like 6 classes last year, and I will introduce more details to you later. So now I would like to pass to Mashi to introduce about the workshop in more details to you.
Oh, thank you, Chen Chen. Can we go to the next slide there, Kevin? Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Mashi. I'm one of the volunteers from Place to Grow. I joined last year. And I guess all the summary was brought to you by Angela and Kaylee's video just then. So the concept still remains the same. Basically, the workshop that we did last year, the aim was to go up every month with the volunteers from Tokyo to keep that continuing engagement with the local community and with the kids especially. And as mentioned before, we partnered up with Sogo Fitness last year, who are a sporting community based in Tokyo with many, international members. And it's always great to have them join us as volunteers to come up to Minami Sanriku to join us with our English lessons and also our physical activity. And you can see from the photos below, we have many activities from Radio Taiso Extreme, which was something invented by Sogo Fitness last year, and the kids definitely love it. The English lessons are basically held at the local intermediate school, where we play English games and converse with the kids, and basically kind of, develop their communication skills, as we were mentioning before. And this is kind of like an opportunity for the kids that they won't necessarily get on their daily lives or even at school. So it's a very valuable experience for the kids to have this, engagement with these international members. So these workshops are very valuable to us and for the kids at Minami Sanriku. Next slide, please, Kevin. And the summer camp was something. It was actually our first time to do last year. It was a 2-day event, basically an extension of a workshop program, where we spent 2 full days, hiring out a gymnasium for the kids to really, do some physical activity, engage deeply with our volunteers that we sent up. Basically, we had Sogo again coming, doing a dance, doing a kind of cross fitness type of training. and also the English lessons were, reading books, doing geography lessons with the kids, kind of getting them exposed to the international, environment. And the kids really loved it, doing fireworks at nighttime, telling stories. I guess the best comment that we received from the kids was basically they wanted to do it again, of course, and also they want to do for 3 days instead of 2 days, so 2 nights, 3 days. So we're trying to, we're continuing to develop these programs, these workshops and summer camps. Of course, we got some scheduled for this year, but unfortunately with this current situation with coronavirus, it's quite hard, but we're actually thinking of doing these online kind of workshops with the kids. So hopefully we get that launching hopefully next month or June to get this continuing engagement with the kids in the local community. Cool, thank you. I'll pass it on to Angela for the Santa Soul Train event from last year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mashi. I'll just highlight some of the key statistics around the Santa Soul Train, and then we'll move on to a video report. So as you may be aware, the Santa Soul Train happens once a year. It requires about 10 months of very in-depth coordination between local leaders. Usually in the end, there's over 100 volunteers involved. We often have volunteers coming from overseas just for this event to participate. And like the rest of our work, it has evolved as the situation has changed. But last year, I'm really happy to report it was the first time we were able to reach every single public school in the Minami Sanriku region, and we worked with the Board of Education to achieve this, as well as members of the Board of Tourism in Minami Sanriku. There were also a couple other community centers that we went to directly, one home for disabled children in Ishinomaki and a children's home in Yokohama. 3 international schools in Tokyo, this is Ohana International School, Nishimachi, and ASIJ, are crucial partners in this, and the children attending those schools are also creating cards and doing candy drives, so they're very much a part of this program, and they also receive cards themselves. In addition, we hold 2 standalone community events, which are anywhere from 2 hours to 4 hours. And these are run alongside local leaders. One is at the Hamare Shotengai in Utatsu, and the other is at the Hotel Kanyo in Shizugawa. Last year, over about 1,200 children in the Tohoku region were able to receive a stocking and a message card. We call this the Surprise Santa. It's sort of a Japanese version of the very Western tradition of Secret Santa. So you pull, someone's name out of a hat and you give them a present. In the Surprise Santa version, you receive a stocking, and inside there's a message card from a child in another part of Japan. And if we include the international schools as well, we were able to reach 1,500 children through this project. So let's move on, Kevin, and let's show them some real footage. This year's Santa Soul Train was our biggest ever, with over 1,500 children in attendance and performances from local groups and community leaders, as well as guests from all over the country. On behalf of Place to Grow and the Minami Sanriku communities, I'd like to extend a heartfelt thank you to our sponsors and our volunteers. Without you, none of this would have been possible.
Now let's take a look at some of our favorite moments from what really was an unforgettable weekend.
クリスマスのプレゼントありがとうございます。おかげさまで子どもたちがね一番楽しみにして、笑顔で、このパーティーに参加しています。
今日のこのイベントで祖母の人たちと一緒にやれるっていうことがすごく嬉しく思ってます。この歌つの子たちっていうのが英語に触れる機会が少ないので、これを機会にすごく自分たちの好きな英語になってもらいたいっていう思いがあって、今日こうやって一緒に混じってやってもらうことがすごくいいなと思っています。
ASIJ 西町インターナショナルスクールお花インターナショナルスクールの皆さん、クリスマスカードを書いてくださり本当にありがとうございました。
みんなと同じ小学生の人からのメッセージなんだって。
皆さんのおかげで10個ものコミュニティをつなげることができ、1500人の東北と東京の子どもたちを笑顔にすることができました。
素敵な小学生になりましょう。
To me, Santa Soul Train is all about connection.
年齢も国籍も全然関係ない。
Gathering here in Minami Sanriku from all over the country.
遊んだり
笑ったり
Building something together and moving hearts.
いつも南三陸町の子どもたちのためにありがとうございます。
Moving hearts.
ありがとう。
Moving hearts.
私たちの未来へ。
All right, guys, let's get back to it. Angela, if you could direct us to the next
slide,
step.
Please. So briefly, just to touch on the Temahima program, this has also been going on since 2012. Next slide, please. It is designed specifically for our sponsors and partner organizations. So this is for large group volunteering weekends. The last year we had 2. Nishimachi International School comes up with their 8th graders every year, and the children spend 2 days visiting the local schools. They do they do exchange programs around education and really helping to educate the international school students on the impact of 3/11, what happened, how does this impact community, and what are the long-term social ramifications of a disaster like 3/11. Also last year, Johnson & Johnson volunteers came and joined us again for a weekend of beach cleaning, farming, supporting local industry. Obviously through the years, the activities have changed from like getting dirty and sweaty and clearing rubble to now more of the soft skills of, sitting down, talking with local people, giving older people a space to heal, to share some of the stresses that they go through, as well as helping the business leaders feel connected and providing fun and educational moments for the volunteers themselves who are employed in these various companies. Let's move on to the next slide, and I'd like to hand the mic over to Chen.
Yes, hello. So here is the fourth program I've introduced. So actually, Place to Grow, we do believe people inspire people. When Place to Grow and all of our volunteers, friends are trying to bring the inspiration to Tohoku and the kids there, I think all of us, our volunteers also need to be inspired, and especially our volunteering skills, NGO skills need to be improved. So we are very honored and happy to have Sarah Jane Rosito, a very active, super Wonder Woman NGO NPO consultant to help us to develop the program, which called Develop Yourself to Inspire Others. So last year, actually, we had 6 classes in total, focus on the volunteering skills. Some are like story communication skills and how to fundraising, even manage your team. And in the second half, in the fourth session of the Develop Yourself, Inspire Others training, we even learn something about the PR, how to outreach and expanding our network, and how we manage people who are volunteers for your organization. And in the last session, in last December, we actually put everything together and had a really amazing recap session. So thanks to Sarah Jane Rosito, so most of Place to Grow, almost all of Place to Grow volunteers actually joined the session and feel it's really helpful. And it's actually not only open to Place to Grow members, we also open to everyone who connected to us and who want to do some good to the society. So this year, Sarah Jane is running the Develop Yourself, Inspire Others training again. And if you are interested in it and want to learn something and to which can impact on your organization or your daily work for the society, kindly check our Facebook page and click join the event. So I will be looking forward to see you soon in the next May session, but probably it will be like a Zoom session and see you online. So after here actually after Mashi and Angela and the amazing video introduction of the Center Soul Train, also the Temahima and the Develop Yourself, Inspire Others, Develop Yourself and Inspire Others program introduction. Here we actually finished all of our program introduction and what we did last year. But from now, I would like to pass to our finance guy, Masaya, to give you a brief introduction of what how our financial statement is. So, Masaya さん、よろしくお願いします。
はい、チェンチェンありがとうございました。では、私のパートなんですが、リーガルとファイナンシャルを担当しています、マサヤと申します。よろしくお願いいたします。早速ですが、昨年度の決算報告をいたします。収益の部分ですが、総額で417万3000余りを、ご献金いただきました。約 56% がスポンサーからの寄付で、次に、南三陸町の助成金ということで 24%。それと 20% がパブクイズなどの収益並びに後に説明します ASIJ 総合の皆さん、それと個人の皆様のご献金で成り立っております。次に支出ですが、385万余りなんですが、そのうち 41% を先ほどご紹介しました、サンタソウルトレインのクリスマスプレゼント代に充当しています。次に、会場ですね、ホテル関与をお借りしているんですが、そこの関与の、会場費が約 32%。次に、イベントですね、ワークショップに参加するために、東京からメンバーを集めて、車で移動するんですが、そこにかかる、移動交通費、宿泊費が約 24% 余りでございます。で、資本の増減としましてですね、結果としてギリギリではあるんですけれども、黒字を維持することができまして、累積の資本が合計で94万5000円となります。次のスライドお願いします。先ほどご説明しましたスポンサーなんですけれども、全部ご紹介できないんですが、こちらに、掲載されている、 大宝薬品様、西間市インターナショナルスクール様、お花インターナショナルスクール様、B エナジー様、ホーガンロベルズ様、ASIJ 様、ジョンソン&ジョンソン様、すべてですね、ご献金だけでなく、社員や先生、生徒の皆さんがご参加いただいているという素晴らしい皆さんでございます。決算報告は以上になります。アンジェラ、よろしくお願いします。
Thank you, Masaya-san. This is Chen and Kevin. Could you move to next slide? Yes. So here you can see 3 amazing VIP of PTG. Probably I don't need to introduce them one by one to you, but just to let you know, throughout all, our amazing celebrity from Mars, Hayami Yu, the super singer, and the Charlie Okamura. Yeah, also one of our oldest friends who are always really supportive to Place to Grow, especially to our Center Soul Train program. And all of them three actually already built a really deep connection. In Japanese, we say kizuna with the Tohoku volunteers as well as all the local people, the kids there. So we really appreciate all of them can contribute their time to Place to Grow and to what we do in Tohoku. And we're looking forward to have a longer partnership with all of them three. And besides the partners, the amazing 3 people, VIPs we actually have a lot of volunteers to make all this happen. As Angela just mentioned, even just one of the Center Soul Train, it even only happened like over a weekend. It actually takes our more than 10 months to prepare it. And who are in the backstage? Kevin, please move to the next slide. Yes, here actually are the volunteers. I wish I didn't miss any name here, but as you can see, all of volunteers are not only based in Japan, also in US and UK, Daryl in US and Lear, yeah, which was our intern and now is our volunteer based in UK. And even within Japan, we have different locations, and from Tokyo, which is mainly all the Place to Grow members are in. And we have Angela, finance members, admin, program members, marketing members, media, and we have ASIJ interns. By the way, Kyle is one of our ASIJ intern, and we have more interns already being assigned into different working streams. And look at Minami Sanriku, we have really amazing local partners. As you already see the video from Kaylee, and we have Yamauchi Sensei, Shizuka-san, Oikawa-san, Yukari-san, Hoshigumi, Shintaro-san, and Leia. They are all really supportive and always raising the bar of our programs in Tohoku. And from Aomori, probably that's the starting line of the Place to Grow. We have Erwin and Liana there. So I believe there are more names I should put into the slide, but please, if anyone are looking at the live stream, please give all the volunteers, maybe even yourself, a like or heart. That will be really appreciated. Yeah, here is who made everything happen. I've shared all of our grateful to all our appreciation to the VIPs and the volunteers. Now I think it's time to pass to Angela to introduce what will happen in 2020.
Thank you, Chen. Yes, let's move on to the next slide. So before we go into the details of the programs, I'd like to announce some really exciting news is new partners for our programs that we will begin working with from this year. First up, many of you might know of this really hot new startup called Mayamizu that is taking Tokyo by storm. It's a Tokyo-based global startup focused on less plastic, more fun. For those of you who have been listening and alive these last couple of years, you know that environmental degradation is a huge issue that we're facing right now, and it's definitely something that the next generation will need to have knowledge of and skills. So we are really excited to start partnering with this organization to bring these topics into our program offering. And also with urban farming. Director John Walsh has taught over 800 people in Tokyo how to grow healthy food, and he runs a variety of urban farming workshops. He works already in the international school community and with the various international communities in Tokyo. Thank you, Kevin. Next slide, please. So I'd like to talk a little bit about what it might mean to join the PTG community and why we are now launching our membership program. So first, let me just start by asking you all a few questions on what you might be going through and what you might be thinking when it comes to social impact and when it comes to being involved in nonprofit. Kevin, if we could just click as fast as you need to so we can go through these. I'd like to wonder if probably a lot of you have felt like you want to make a positive impact in your world. You want to help others. You want to be involved. You might have self-development ideals, and also be creative about what solutions you could be a part of. But you also might feel a bit confused about where to start. Who should you work with? There's so many different causes out there. How do you get started? What can I do all by myself? This can be a disconnected world if you get into that space, and it's very easy to get overwhelmed with all our different aspects of life, whether that's children or exams or studying or juggling your day job. So these are the reasons why you might want to consider being part of something that's bigger than yourself. And let me share a little bit of our goals in the next slide. Before that, let me share a little bit of our journey and why we think that PTG might be the community for you if you answered yes or to any of the questions on the previous slide. So not only have we been working for 9 years on the ground with local leaders and international NGO leaders from all over the world, but we have also identified a model of how to integrate long-term support into existing social structures, into community fabrics that already exist. And we have developed training that will allow us to maintain the conversations that you need to have to enable community building. Let's move on to the next slide. So as you know, the world has gone online virtually overnight, and nonprofits and those of us working in social impact are not letting these challenges halt our work. Rather, we want to take advantage of this opportunity, look at it as an opportunity rather than a setback, and grow and improve the value that we bring. So some of the specifics that we're going to move into is starting to connect more deeply with the Fukushima communities. While they experienced massive devastation, the impact that has had on the community is quite different from prefecture to prefecture. So we have been fostering ties with local leaders in the region of Fukushima, and we now hope to move forward in a much stronger way. As I mentioned earlier, we have identified a model that can scale. So we also want to provide greater value to the sponsor community and the volunteer community. You know, back in the day, 50 years ago, there was a very strong slant when it came to social impact. There was the beneficiaries and there were the sponsors. And what we're seeing right now in this day and age is that actually moving from shien or support into a more partnership style relationship has much greater value for both parties. To that end, we are seeking more schools, more companies in Tokyo, and also individuals. So we hope to expand our volunteer opportunities globally. And if you look at the time you spend as a volunteer, like an apprenticeship, where you get the opportunity to hands-on create, learn, make mistakes, and also role model leaders and peers, this time can be incredibly valuable to the rest of your life. And that is why growing forward, we want to stay 100% volunteer-based. Next slide, please. When it comes to the children in Tohoku, we see potential in all of these children to be able to rise up and give back to their communities, to become leaders. But we also know how fragile the current support system is and what the consequences of not having positive role models in one's life can be. So we are launching a new program this year called basically our membership program, which I'll go into details in the next slide. So becoming a joining our membership is kind of like a VIP volunteer, right? You get the opportunity to decide the direction and growth of the organization. You get a vote every year. You'll get priority access to attend and lead workshops, whether these are in person or online, advance invitation to the Santa Soul Train in Tohoku, access to training and self-development, as well as access to the PTG community and its members. You know, we have sponsors, we have volunteers from all walks of life, from all over the world, from very different backgrounds. It's a very diverse community. And a lot of these people are senior business leaders all the way down to interns in high school. So there's a big, rich network that we are part of, and this is what you get access to as a member. You also will get information and updates via the newsletter, so you can hear stories like about Elsa and Karen's progress, about the community leaders and what's going on there. And for those of you who are more long-term, like our annual, are going to become members for the whole year, you also get free products like a new ebook on becoming a social impact leader. I've just published my first book, and you will get a copy. There's also other discounts and gifts from our sponsors and the other partners that we have. So please consider being part of this movement to inspire the next generation. On our next slide, I would like to share with you how you can do that and just explain to you that it's really, really simple. I mean, it's just about the price of your Starbucks coffee, really, every month, 500 yen, and you become a member. You can sign up today. And by doing that, by becoming a member, that price, that 6,000 yen a year, actually will enable one child to have access to workshops for a whole year. Excuse me, I'm getting excited. A whole year, they'll be able to engage with our volunteers, and it also guarantees them a spot in the Santa Soul Train project. And as we grow into the new areas, we're going to need to really stabilize and increase our income here. So this is where your contribution can make a massive difference and enable us to move forward together with more power. Let's move on. So now I'd like to hand this back to Kevin, actually, for Q&A and wrap up. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela, our devoted, very hyped up leader. Please read her book. I'm excited to see what's written in there. And yeah, I mean, thanks for everybody who's come with us this far, who's contributed and volunteered, and the future volunteers. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to write them in the Facebook chat of the live stream. And we do recognize there's about a 15-second delay between the stream and what we're saying, so it will take a little bit longer to answer any questions. To start, the way that you could become a member, we will be sharing a link in this stream for a form, an application form that you can just fill out, and then we'll get in contact with you to get to understand and better know like what your interests are and how you would like to contribute in terms of either coming on the trips or helping being part of this organizational team, or just financially contributing a Starbucks worth of latte money to the fund that keeps all of us able to, you know, help the kids up in Minami Sanryuku and Miyagi. So first question is that I see, is there going to be a corporate version of the membership scheme? So I think that the best person to answer this would be Kyle, but to be really fair regarding the membership, it's still something that's being developed, and it's something that we're trying to find the best way for us to contribute, like to make sure all the money goes to the right place. In order to get the corporate membership working, we also need to figure out the system, which is why we're looking for volunteers right now in order to help us figure out the most effective strategy. And yeah, please keep posted and we'll be able to answer that question more thoroughly when the membership launches. Let me see. Angela, do you have anything to add regarding the corporate membership aspect?
Just that it is in the works and it will definitely come to fruition. For now, we are communicating and welcoming new sponsors through our sponsorship program right now, which is you can be an in-kind sponsor, or we have 3 different levels, which are in the previous slides and also on our website. So it exists, but we are still developing the value for how they spread that out to all their different employees.
Thank you, Angela. If anybody has another question, please don't hesitate to write it in the chat. At the same time, to expand a little bit more about what we do with the money, Place to Grow does not pay salaries to people. We all just volunteer for their organization, and all the money goes into either organizing events, going directly to the people of Minami Sanryuku, or basically logistics or tools. So all the money goes right directly into the community. And that's something that I really like about volunteering with Place to Grow, because, you know, it's always important to know where the money's going. In terms of any follow-up questions, I think one important thing to do is to keep track of our updates on our website and this Facebook group. I had a question from Chen Chen about the pub quiz. Every year we have, I believe, one pub quiz that happens, and I have yet to attend one, actually. But
Yeah.
This year, I believe it'll be online. Angela, can you tell us a little bit about the experience of the pub quiz?
Oh, it's so much fun. I started participating as one of the quizzers only from last year, actually. So being part of a team, one of our volunteers creates the questions. You get to test your trivia knowledge and make jokes at other teams. It's really sort of like a rip-roaring fun, can get a little bit rowdy, lots of beer usually. And at the end, we auction off some prizes from our sponsors, and people get to buy raffle tickets, and all the money raised goes to funding Santa Soul Train.
Sounds like a good cause with alcohol. And
it's a really, really good time, super team building.
As is every pub quiz, or at least the ones that people can remember. So we'll be posting the membership sign up on the bottom of the live stream. So please click that link. And otherwise, thank you very much for everyone that has joined.
Yes, thank you so much. See you online soon.
Take care.